Hi everyone. Today I'm going to discuss how to wash your cloth pads and do they stain, do they smell. Once you've used a cloth pad, we need to take out all the blood from the cloth pads. So you can either run them under cold water or a regular temperature water. Definitely stay away from hot water till the time there's blood in the cloth pad because hot water sets stain. All of us have this notion that hot water will clean it quickly or it acts as a disinfectant, but the moment you add hot water on blood, the stains set. That is why till the time there's blood in the pad, never put hot water in it. You need to remove all the blood from the pad either by running it under cold water or by soaking it in cold water. And when you are soaking it, if you want, you can add a little bit of soap as well and soak it for at least half an hour to maximum 8 hours. It also depends on how quickly you wash the pad after using it. So if you're washing it or soaking it right after removing the pad, half an hour is more than enough and you'll actually see that all the blood has come out of the pad. But if you were unable to wash the pad for a few hours after removing it, then you might need to soak it for a little longer. Once you've rinsed the pad and soaked it and all the blood is out of it, you can choose to hand wash it or machine wash it. Most of the manufacturers recommend only hand washing. Also, I've noticed that the more you hand wash, the longer the life of the pad is. If you machine wash it regularly, the number of times you can use the pad might get reduced. But it's totally up to you and your convenience. You can hand wash them or machine wash. I would suggest that when you are machine washing the pads, then put them in a separate cotton bag or an old pillow cover, or in a, if you have a washing net, a mesh that comes to wash clothes or undergarments, you can use that. To dry the pads, sunlight is the best option because it's a natural disinfectant as well. It will kill all the bacteria in your pad. However, if sunlight is not available where you're living or depending on the weather or its monsoons, you can dry your pads in the washing machine on a low tumble dry setting. While drying in the sun or outdoors, make sure you don't keep the pads flat on a surface, hang them straight. That will help you dry them quicker and equally from both the sides. I'd like to give a few tips as well. Never, while you're hand washing the pads, never use a brush on the pads because the washing brush is quite harsh on the fabrics, and again, it will just reduce the life of your cloth pad. Every now and then, you can add a few drops of vinegar in the soaking water that makes and keeps your cloth pads softer for longer. Never use any bleach or fabric softeners because that actually affects the leak-proof layer of cloth pads. While soaking, you can actually also add lavender essential oil that also acts as a natural disinfectant. I frequently get asked, what about the stains? Will they stain? How will I remove the stains on cloth pads? Firstly, I'd like to say stains are not bad. Does not mean that if a cloth pad has stains on it, it does not mean that it's dirty or unhygienic to use. It's cloth, and just like your any piece of clothing, your undergarments, your t-shirts, with repeated use, they do tend to get some kind of stain or the other, or discoloring, you can say as well. So there's nothing wrong. Also, if you compare light colored pads versus dark colored pads, if you say that I bought a white or a light colored pad and I couldn't remove the stains, so I prefer dark color pads, does not mean that dark color pad or a printed pad did not have stains on it. It's just that you can't see them. So it's a personal preference. Like, I prefer using lighter pads because when I bleed on them, I can actually see how much I bled, and it's easier to tell when the pad is about to get full. However, in a dark color pad or a printed pad, I get really confused, like especially with Things panties, they're black in color. So I was just totally lost in terms of when they got full, and I started to leak through them really badly on one of my heavy flow days and stained all my trousers. If you wash your pad immediately after use, take off all the blood by running it under cold water or by soaking it in regular to cold water. All the blood actually comes out quite easily. You don't have to struggle or rub or anything, and there won't be any stains at all. However, if you're not able to wash it for few hours after using it, or you left it like that for 2 3 days, for whatever reason you were not able to wash, it's possible that it'll stain, especially if it's a light color pad, you will see those stains. However, like I said, it does not mean that it's dirty. Try to wash them as soon as possible, and you can use stronger detergents to remove stains whenever, but I'll avoid using bleach. I often get asked about the smell, that when I remove the cloth pad it's going to smell really bad. Who's going to wash that? When you start using cloth pads, you'll realize that menstrual blood does not smell bad at all. It's got a very mild smell, sometimes to no smell, and the smell that we are used to smelling on disposable pads only comes with disposable pads. That is when the blood reacts with air and all the chemicals in your sanitary napkin. That smell with maybe growing bacteria in it, depending on how long you were wearing the same pad, if you didn't change it in time, in 6 to 7 hours. So those stinks come on disposable pads. When you'll use cloth pads, you'll realize that they don't smell bad at all. Maybe just a very mild smell that won't bother you at all. I hope this video answered all your questions and you'll enjoy using your cloth pads. Thank you.